What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty behind the camera, and sitting in front of us is the refreshed 2025 Kia EV6, and this is the fun one. This is the all-wheel drive GT line, so not quite the full-on GT, but it does have some extra horsepower on top of the other models. And again, for 2025, it has been updated. You can see we have some very outlandish looking new front headlights and everything. We have new wheels and you know, just new styling found throughout. And throughout this video, we're going to be taking a looking at all of that. So we're going to check out all the features on the outside. We'll also see what powers this EV6, and as well as some charging information, battery information. We'll also check out the cargo area, rear seats, and we'll finish up this video with the front seats and all the technology involved. Now, in case you're wondering how this new EV6 drives, I am too, because I was thoroughly impressed with the first EV6 that I drove. So we're going to be driving this too, just in a separate video. So you can either wait to the end of this video to see a link for that, or just head on over to my channel, Ty Drives, for more. So the biggest change you will see is we're going to start up front with our lighting. It's got this big, huge light bar that kind of goes all the way across. And we'll zoom in a little bit here, and we just have this really cool looking lighting element. You can see everything is LED, from the high and low beams to the turn signals, and even the daytime running lights. Looks very good, all illuminated. And this car really has a neat appearance in the front. It's got that kind of sloping front end, a little bit better aerodynamics if you ask me. We also have parking sensors that wrap around the front bumper, even to the sides, and lots of glossy black up front for the GT line trim, just to make it a little bit more sporty looking. We also have a front camera below our Kia emblem that is actually attached to the hood. And as we can see, our wheel arches are all body colored, and we have these very cool looking new wheels, combination of glossy black and machine finish, and it's kind of got this squared off kind of taste to it. So there's no kind of like round edges on the wheels except for the I guess wheel itself, and the tires measure up at 255/45, and the wheels measure up at 20 inches. That's definitely one of the nicest parts of this car, is I really like those wheels. Now we have a mostly black roof, meaning that our pillars here, A pillar, B pillar, and even part of our C pillar is all blacked out. But the kind of roof itself is all body colored. You can see the front where the roof is blacked out as well. But it's got a pretty cool combination of body color and glossy black. Speaking of glossy black, our mirrors are that color, and we also have LED turn signals in them and cameras at the bottom. And we could flip around so that you can see the blind spot warning, and it's almost got like eyelashes. This is a pretty cool shape right here. Now our door handles are pretty cool. You could see the actual lock in there, but when the car's unlocked, you have the door handles sticking out like so, and if you want to lock the vehicle, you just press that little button right there. Quick look at our window sticker reveals that this is the long-range all-wheel drive version, so that's pretty cool. We have a bit more horsepower in this car, and a couple of small options in addition to the regular sticker price on the GT line. We have the Nebular Blue paint color, which is really cool looking. Almost Smurfy kind of blue, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I really like this color actually. We also have the GT line suede seat package, very cool, so make sure you stay tuned to take a look at that. Carpeted floor mats, cargo mat, wheel covers, you know, all that good stuff. Total tab for this particular car, $61,605, and it's got a long list of standard features. And according to the EPA, you could do about 270 miles on this particular configuration. Crash ratings look all very good with what's rated, and looks like actually most of the parts come from the USA, 80%. Up here we have this pretty cool looking spoiler at the top with your shark fin antenna, and you've got some aero going on too. You got some air that can go through here, and you also have a secondary spoiler that goes from your taillights all the way across. Pretty cool looking. Now, the taillights themselves are actually pretty cool as well. All LED like the front, and you can see the turn signals, taillights, and the brake lights are all LED. And then we even have a light bar that goes all the way across, just like up front. And our charging door is actually very nicely integrated right here, and we'll get into that in just a minute. We have this pretty cool kind of material here, some trim that's like a tinted chrome color, but it's got this cool finish to it. I really like that. We have parking sensors all the way across the rear, some pretty sporty glossy black elements down below. We have our reversing camera, the Kia badge, and our GT line emblem. Before we go any further, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my good friends at Blasius Kia in Watertown, Connecticut for providing me their first 2025 EV6. If you're interested in any car in their inventory, check them out, blasiuskia.com. And what do you guys think of the styling on this EV6? I've always been a fan of the styling on this car ever since it came out, but this updated version just kind of takes it a step further. Let me know in the comments. So here we have the charging door. You just kind of give a little tap right here and it'll open right up. And surprise, surprise, take a look at that charger. That is definitely different than some other EV Kias in the past, and most of the EVs out there besides Tesla, since this is the Tesla connector. Now don't worry, take a look at this. I have in my hand the adapter that you get for the regular charging network, so you could really charge this vehicle wherever you'd like, and that adapter does come standard on the vehicle, no extra cost. 84 kilowatt hours is the battery pack size, and again, this particular configuration will go about 270 miles on a charge. Okay, so now that we have the hood popped on the EV6, we're going to talk about the powertrain more or less than the battery. So there's actually a few powertrains, I believe 3 different configurations you can get, 3 different power outputs, I should say. And we're going to leave the GT out of it for now, since hopefully when that vehicle comes out, we'll review that, focus solely on that car. But in this particular configuration and the non-crazy power outputs, we have either a rear-wheel drive configuration with about 225 horsepower and an all-wheel drive like this one with 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. Again, that's an 85 kilowatt hour battery pack. And you're good for about 270 miles, which is a pretty good amount of range. Now, under here you can see a lot of mechanical components, coolant, washer fluid, things like that, fuse box. We also have the 12-volt battery up here. But if you lift this up, you have a really, really minuscule amount of storage. Kia actually puts your your car plug right in here, but really just a small amount of space. I don't know, maybe you could put books and things like that in here. But there is a little bit of storage underneath the hood. And we'll definitely test out how much power this feels like it has when we have it on the road. So make sure to check out that video as well. Let's check out some storage space back here. Now we do have a powered liftgate. And this EV6 really is a good size vehicle for, you know, a smaller family, maybe if you have 1 or 2 kids. There's lots of storage space back here. Now, due to the design of the vehicle, it really does slope off kind of like a coupe, a 2-door coupe, the roof itself, but it does have a really good long amount of space, as you can see in here. Now, you do have a cargo shade installed. That was one of the accessories this car has. We also have a 12-volt power outlet back here and some illumination on the driver's side. You also have these cool handles to fold down the seats at a 60-40 split, and we can fold this side down right now. So you can see what it looks like. There is some stuff in the way, so it won't fold completely flat on us, but as you can see, that is the operation. And you also have cargo tie-downs in each corner of the vehicle back here. Now, underneath the trunk, you do have a little bit of storage space with your tire inflation kit, but that's pretty much it back here. Once you're done in the trunk, you could even pull down the trunk with the handle if you're feeling strong, or just press the button. One more thing that I wanted to mention back here is you can tow up to 2,700 pounds when properly equipped. Okay, so first glance at the passenger cabin on the EV6. We're going to take a look at the rear seats. Now that we're zoomed out, we can see it a little better. The interior is this sort of mostly black, but it does have this kind of ivory color on the doors, a little bit on the seats, and we even have that suede seat option, which is really, really cool. I would imagine you probably won't see too many of EV6 is optioned with that particular feature, but that's pretty cool. Very nice trim back here though. Use of materials is kind of cheaper on the top and on the bottom, but where I guess it counts is nice and soft where your arm's gonna rest. You have some trim here, heated rear seats, 2-stage, and some pretty cool looking door handles. Very nice speaker grills too, and this one has the Meridian surround sound system. We also have a felt lined pocket for your bottles. Now, no hump in the center, very nice, and you have a bench seat configuration. And I'm going to show you a couple of things before we fold it down. Now, these seats do recline pretty heavily. So this is max recline. That is the least recline you can do. And there is a little handle down here which you can pull, and that will fold down these seats. Now, just keep in mind, it does lock the seats in when you fold it down, and when you pull the handle, it really doesn't release any. So it's kind of a two-step process, or two-hand process, I should say. So don't mind the extra noise and a little bit awkward views while I put that back up. But that is the folding situation with the seats. They fold flat, nice. But yeah, very nice soft suede. We have some leatherette in the middle. Syntex is what Kia calls their synthetic leather. And we have 3 individual headrests. This one actually goes up and down too. Nice armrest with some cup holders. And one thing I always fail to mention is right here you actually have a 3-prong outlet. Kind of in a weird position, but it is there. Very cool looking backs to the seat too. You can always almost use this as like a coat hanger too. Now, hopping in back here, you definitely have a somewhat upright seating position, and I find that my knees do stick up a little bit in the air, so the backs of the seat do sit down quite further, a little bit more so than the fronts, but that's okay. It gives you kind of a sunk in feeling. Plenty of legroom though. I am 5'10", and I adjusted this front seat to a normal driving position for myself, and I have miles of legroom. We also have map pockets back here, 2 USB-C chargers on the backs of each seat, and you also have air vents on both the B pillars. That's pretty cool. Again, nice flat floor right here, so if you have to sit as central passenger, you definitely can. And the suede seats are very nice. Now, due to the sloping back appearance of the vehicle, you don't have a whole lot of headroom. Getting in is more of the issue, but the roof does go up quite a bit, so my hair isn't touching the back, but it is a little bit tight just getting in. What do you say we check out the front next? Okay, time for the driver's cockpit. Let's take a look at the door first, where I'm pleased to say the materials do improve. Now you have kind of like this rubberized plastic here, and your door rests are still nice and soft, just like the back. You have actually powered child locks for the rear, which is cool. And then we also have our mirrors and windows, lock and unlock, stuff like that. And you also have power folding mirror controls too. 2-person memory for the driver's seat, a bit more storage, and a very nice looking speaker grille for that Meridian sound system. The upper dash has this really cool appearance. Actually almost looks like the microfiber cloth I use to clean cars off while I'm doing videos, but that's pretty cool appearance. Air vent here, a little bit of design as well. You can see the steering column is actually powered tilt and telescoping. That's cool. And as far as buttons and functionality, over here we have our gauge dimmer, release for the plug. We also have the trunk release, parking brake, and traction control off. We have the hood release right over here on the left side, and some pretty cool pedals for the GT line. Stainless steel caps, and it looks like we have the minus for the brake pedal and the plus for the gas pedal. The driver's seat is fully powered, and it's a very nice looking seat. Take a look at that headrest, very cool looking, kind of pops out. Again, Alcantara seats, Syntex on the sides and a little bit in the center, and we even have 2-way lumbar. Lots of storage on the side here. Now, one thing I was wondering too, each side has this little clip right here, and I'm not even sure what that is for. I can't even think of a reason of that. So if you can help me out, the viewers, on what that may be used for, just pop it down in the comments. What do you say we hop in and check out the rest? All right, now that we're seated inside the new EV6, you can see we have a somewhat familiar layout, like the center console and the climate area, but we do have a very nice set of double screens and a new steering wheel. We kind of have a flat top and bottom to the new steering wheel. Nice chunky kind of parts right here for your buttons, and the Kia emblem is offset a little bit. But here goes the key. Now, one cool thing I noticed with this key, other than it being almost a white color, is every time you press a command on the key, the Kia emblem actually lights up, so that's pretty cool. But as far as functionalities go, you have the lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic alarm like normal. But on the other side, we have all of the party trick buttons. We have the remote start, and then the remote parking, so you can actually park this car back and forth with those buttons. It's pretty darn cool. So yeah, pretty cool looking key, and it's even got this little leatherette strap to hook onto the rest of your keys. Now, to start, we just press a little power button here, and here we go. And everything will kind of fire right up. So as far as the steering wheel goes, we'll kind of go over some of the functionalities here. We have some of that kind of ivory color too, but kind of where you hold the steering wheel normally will stay nice and clean because it's the black color. But at the bottom of your steering wheel, kind of the most important button, I think, on the steering wheel is your drive mode button. So if you press that, we have a bunch of different drive modes to choose from. Eco, Normal, Sport, My Drive, which is a mode that you select how the car drives, and a snow mode, which is pretty cool. We'll be cycling between a couple of those different modes on our test drive. Now, as far as functionalities go, we have all of our adaptive cruise control here, lane assist, as well as some different buttons to adjust the screen right in front of us, which I'll show you in just a bit. We have the mode up and down and your volume for the radio. We also have a programmable button, which is pretty cool. And then your Bluetooth and voice commands, pretty neat. Attached to the back of the steering wheel, we have what looks like paddle shifters, but this is to adjust how strong or how weak your regen is. And if you see right down here, you can see the level 3. They give you 4 different levels of regen power, plus an off, and it displays right there. Pretty cool. Behind our steering wheel, we have a couple of stalks for your lighting, high beams, and your turn signals. And as you can see, this one has that very cool blind spot view when you turn on the turn signals. Very, very cool. We also have our wipers on the other side. Now, we do have a fully digital gauge cluster on this particular vehicle, and it is slightly customizable in the way that it looks. So if you go into the setup on the touchscreen here, you can go into cluster and heads-up display. You can go into cluster themes, and you could choose, this is style C, which is my personal favorite. You can also go to style B, which is pretty cool, and style A. But I personally like style C the best. So slightly customizable in the kind of view department. But as far as functionalities go, you have the kind of speedometer over here, charge and power over here, as well as your kind of maximum range over here as well, which is kind of weird. This is charged at 98%, and according to the EPA, we're only supposed to get 270 miles. So that's pretty cool to see. Now going down, you could see we have a couple of different things we could cycle through: your trip computers, charging screens, things like that. We also have a kind of range guide so that you could plan a trip. The minimum amount you can have right now, if you have everything going, ACE, all that good stuff going, you're driving like an idiot, is 229 miles. And the maximum you could do if you drive really economically is 367 miles, which is pretty cool. If you go down, you have your tire pressures and also your power distribution for the all-wheel drive. And if we press the little pages button, we can go over to a compass and also to a kind of a lane keep and or driving aid menu right there. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much the range of customability for this screen, at least that I could see. Up here you have a couple other things like your speed limit to the road you're on and your lane keep assist aid. Up here we have a nice heads-up display. As you can see, hopefully you could see it while we're driving, you know, in the few minutes that I've spent with this car, just kind of taking it to the car wash and things like that. I've noticed it's a really cool heads-up display in the fact that it actually works with your driver's assist systems too. So if it detects somebody coming up on your side with like the blind spot, you'll see like a little red area pop up at the bottom here, just to let you know someone coming up on your side. That's pretty neat. In addition to your lane keep and the current speed on the road that you're on right now. So pretty cool heads-up display. The upper dash is that pretty cool material. And we're going to turn down this AC just a little bit here and sync it up. It's getting a little warm in here. Right here we have our main touchscreen. So this is kind of the main event. We have navigation built in, which is very cool. We also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is awesome. We also have kind of a charging assist right there with the navigation. We also have the media right here, so we can tune between the FM, AM, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, and the Apple CarPlay, which is pretty cool. If we click into Sirius, I'm going to turn that down for copyright reasons, but just so you can see what it looks like. And you can also have a split screen, so you see a small one right here for the navigation. We always have some shortcuts at the bottom, and we can choose the different sound settings for the radio right here very quickly, which is cool. And we have all your channels sources over here. We have a dedicated EV screen to show you like battery, things like that. If you turn off the climate control, all that good stuff. You could swipe over to see kind of your nearest charging locations, battery conditioning, and your usage, which is pretty awesome. Moving over, we have your phone screen, phone projection, which is for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You also have YouTube, so you can watch Tide drives within your vehicle. You also have an entertainment tab, which is awesome. I actually haven't checked this out yet, so let's see what it looks like. Oh, it looks like you have to enter some information first, but it looks like you can play some games and things like that within your vehicle while you are charging. Pretty cool. We have voice memos, a couple things in setup that I wanted to show you, such as the vehicle stuff, lots and lots of stuff to customize, such as the interior lighting, active sound as well. So the vehicle has these kind of EV noises that it makes while you're driving along, and I put it on the largest change so we can actually see it, hear it while we're driving, so make sure you stay tuned to that again. Lots of other stuff in here, sound settings as well as device connections, screen layout, so you could toggle between that information over there. You can also toggle on and off the split screen for this touchscreen itself, the different cluster settings and just general settings, so lots of customability there. We also have a couple other things. You can access weather, sports, put the car in a valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, maintenance schedules, and all that good stuff. And then you also have one more screen for notifications and the owner's manual. You can also sign into different profiles as well, kind of like memory seats, but for all your settings on the screen there. And you can swipe from the top to get various other information too. You have date and time up there, which is awesome. And the exterior temperature is in the gauge cluster. This material almost kind of looks like a snake skin. It's really neat. And between your two air vents, you have a hazards button. Now down here, Kia's been doing this for a little while now, so you might have seen some videos on this kind of situation here. But you have two different settings, and it's kind of like a touch screen down here as well, for your media or for your climate control. So it's a quick, easy tap to get between both. This particular setup is the media, so we have the volume for the radio and tune knob. We also have a couple of quick buttons for the touchscreen. Now, four things that will always remain, I should say six things that will always remain no matter what mode you're in, are the the settings right here for climate and for the MMI, or the defrosters, climate, and the recirculating. So those four things or six things I should say, will always remain. If you have it on the climate menu, these will now change to your dual zone climate control, so you can adjust the temperatures, dual zone of course. You can sync everything up. We also have your fan speed right here, as well as your AC settings, so that's pretty cool. Down below we have some USB-C connections and a couple of power outlets as well. If we open them up, we have another USB-C and a 12 volt and a huge amount of space down here. And working our way up here, we have our heated and cooled seat settings, as well as your 2-stage heated steering wheel adjustments, which is awesome. So heated and cooled seats for the front. We also have our on-off button. You can see some of the ambient lighting too. It's a little bit of a cloudy day out. There is ambient lighting found throughout the vehicle. Very, very cool. And we also have this kind of outlandish gear selector here. So we have the P for park right here. Moving on over to the left for reverse, and at that point a nice large display comes up to show us the 360 camera and the backup camera. So you see nice big display for 360 and the reversing camera. You also have some other elements for a more kind of top-down view for the rear, kind of the rear wheels, and kind of a wide angle full screen rear. Now we also have a kind of party trick with this car too. You can see we have a 3D view, and this actually looks awesome. You can see around you, and the camera's really not all distorted that much. You know, usually when you do this sort of thing, the cameras get distorted, but this actually looks really, really good. And we have the same sort of adjustments if we put it into drive for the front camera. So you have a top-down for the front, regular view for the front, front wheels, and the rear wide angle. And the cameras are actually really, really, really impressive quality. So if we switch it over to the right, the gear selector will put you into drive, and of course P for park. We can pull up the parking cameras at any time by pressing this button and turn off the parking sensors with this button here, and we also have a auto hold. As we can see, we have a wireless charging pad for your phone, and 2 kind of cup holders right here and here, and a little bit of storage behind the last one. Our center console has that same sort of material as on the dashboard. If you lift it up, nice and deep, good amount of storage in there. On the passenger side, we have the cool GT line emblem and a little speaker grill on the A-pillar. If we tap this little button, that'll open up our glove box. Pretty darn huge glove box too. We have all the owner's manuals, wheel locks, and stuff like that in there. And our passenger seat is powered as well. Black headliner, and we have some pretty giant mirrors with lights on our visors with card holders. Up here we have some LED illumination, sunroof and sunshade controls, as well as our emergency buttons. So actually the sunshade, even though this is a single panel sunroof, is fully powered. So that's pretty cool. And we can open it up again with just that same button. And if you want to open the sunroof itself, you just use that same button and it'll go up and over the roof. So that's pretty cool. And we also have a nice big mirror with your garage door openers there too. So that pretty much does it for all the features on the 2025 updated Kia EV6. I'm definitely very impressed with this vehicle, and I'm definitely very eagerly awaiting taking it for a test drive. So by now, you should see the link pop up for that test drive. Make sure you check that out. And thank you very much for watching. That concludes this video on the EV6. Make sure you stick with us next time.